Okay, high five! We've got an awesome refactored code that can be used anywhere for a bunch of web pages. We're pretty happy about that.
I got him! Great Tim! Don't get cocky!
So here are some things that might go wrong. Just a couple things that I've had go wrong on me and took me a while to figure out, and we'll also see how to maybe track them down a bit. So yeah, we had this web page here. Let's go look at the source of this web page. Okay, and we had our code, and I'm just going to scroll down to this part here, and we went ahead and we made this empty paragraph called navbar so that we could later fill it with the on-off menu, so that we have a node to stick all those other things onto. And then we do that by a line much later. We go down and call on off menu down here. Well, it's kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and just copy, and I want to go and back where we created this, and that seems like the right place to go ahead and call the script. So go ahead and create this empty paragraph, and then right there go ahead and call, oops, there we go. Go ahead and call it right there. Yeah, so makes sense. I went ahead and did that. That's called, I have it part 3b, which is linked on the page there. And this is what I get. Well, that's not so impressive. All I did was change the place where I called create on-off menu from one place to another. What gives? Well, let's go and pull up the developer tools. So, and we see here an error message. Type error, cannot read property children of null. Create on-off menu. Well, that's kind of weird. Let's go and look at that line of code. We're sitting in here. So it thinks we're in the for loop here. It thinks choice source node. It couldn't even find choice source node, this thing here, okay? So it, in fact, we can look at our, if we set a breakpoint, we can reload this page, and you can see that we're being passed in navbar, and choice source ID is animal paragraphs. Great. We can go step, and if we look at our local variables here, menu holder ID is navbar, menu holder node is a paragraph tag, okay, but choice source node, choice source ID is animal paragraphs, and choice source node is null. This get element by ID failed. Why the heck did it fail? Well, let's go and look at our code again. We had the table, we had the TD, we had the navbar, and then we made this call right here. And here's what gives. Sort of displayed in the concept of this 3B, comment of this 3B file. JavaScript, Chrome is being streamed in some HTML. It's trying to be quick and snappy. It starts rendering the page even before it's received the entire HTML file, perhaps. It's still getting stuff in over the network, and it sees, oh, I see a body tag, I'm going to start drawing things. I see a P tag, I'm going to start laying this stuff out. And it processes things top to bottom. And so it goes and it says, hey, I have a TR tag, great, I'm going to start a table. I have a TD tag, great. I have a P tag with ID navbar, great, I'm going to put that P tag in there. Oh, I see a script tag, I'm going to run that right now. So right then it runs create on-off menu, and at the moment on-off menus, the moment this code is being executed, this paragraph exists with ID navbar, but you know that paragraph, the div with the animal paragraphs, we haven't reached that yet. That's still down, that's 3 or 4 lines still in the future, and that has not even been processed by Chrome yet. So we don't want to, put it this way, we need to wait. We can't run this code until we have the other div with all the animal paragraphs actually set up in the HTML. Then I could go ahead and run it and it would be okay. One thing you can do, you can go ahead if you want, there is an onload attribute. And you can go ahead and put this, maybe even your top level HTML tag, on load, and that's where you can go ahead and call the JavaScript that you want to run after the entire page is loaded. That's when onload gets activated. Okay, so yeah, just be careful. How to refine this error, looking at the debugger and looking at those. For me, what made it click was looking at my local variables and seeing that, hey, this document get element by ID is returning null. It wasn't anything in my loop. It wasn't anything like that. Why could that be returning null? And then it hit me. Okay, so let's go back and look at one more little thing here. Hiding parts version 3. Just to really make this nice and cool, we're going to go ahead and put the same thing. Oops, we're going to put this into a separate file. I'm going to go and look at the view source, and that's all that HTML code I had before, putting it in a separate file, and now I can use that this JS hiding parts. I can now have this, copy and paste just this line 9, put it in 20 different files, and then they can all call those two methods, create on-off menu and show just. And now I can have 20 different web pages that all have that functionality with the code all in one place, centralized. We like that. The one last thing I'll warn you about here with the script tag. So we change it so this, instead of having our JavaScript inside the body of the tag, we have the source attribute for script, great, and we have this empty body. And if you're like me, it's like, oh, well, I want to make this shorter. I want to just use the self-closing notation for script tags. And I even went ahead and have a version -oops that does that. It has a script tag. And when I actually run that file, what does it look like? Nothing. Yeah, nothing's running well. And you can use the debugger. I think it's really weird from what I can tell. But here's the upshot. Don't do the self-closing tag for script. In particular, for any tag that can have a body, use that self-closing tag, okay? Just don't do it. So image can never have a body. BR, there's never anything between the open BR and the closed BR. There's BR, and if you want some attributes, you can. Same with image. You can have attributes with your image tag, but you never have anything with the body of the image tag. So you can use the shorthand for closing the tag, no problem. If anything could have a body, you're not allowed to use that shorthand. At least browsers don't always recognize it. This is sort of a difference between HTML and XHTML and what you're serving it up as, what your doc type declaration is. And so it's annoying. You'd think, hey, I want an empty paragraph. I should be in this angle bracket P/angle bracket. Have a self-closing paragraph. Yeah, technically not allowed. So just be aware that's an easy thing to do, and suddenly none of your JavaScript code runs. Actually, I think it's a little bit weirder than that. When I was looking at it, it seems that it doesn't recognize it as the tag ending. It sort of ignores that slash. And so it treats the script tag as starting up here in line 8, and it treats that as keeping on going until the end of line 52 when it hits the close script tag. It thinks that whole thing was one script. So it says, okay, I see some script, and then the first thing I do is, call show just. Yeah, and so there's no HTML or P or table or anything or body at all inside our actual HTML. So, yeah. Okay, those are all I wanted to say, those two items. Go and enjoy, and happy JavaScript.